everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brie. Hi if you're new here, or hey if you've been here before. Today I'm doing another writing experiment and I'm so excited to do this one. I've put a lot of effort into this and I do have to give credit to my fellow YouTube friend Hudson McCarthy, because she did come up with this idea and had sent me some of the research she did, and then I did my own on top of it to be able to bring you writing like my Meyers Briggs personality. So if you guys are, if that introduction was kind of crazy, let me back it up and explain. So maybe it was back in February, but Hudson and I were kind of talking about different ways that we wanted to kind of bring interesting writing components to our channels, and we kind of talked about writing experiments, and she came up with the one that was, hey, I think I want to make a day writing or something, a week writing, a month writing, something around my Meyers Briggs personality. And I said, I love that idea. And she was like, you can also do it too. That would be so cool. So I will say at this point when I'm filming, Hudson's video is not up on her channel. If by chance it is, I'm going to definitely link it down below. And you guys should definitely go watch her, because I'm going to have to give her the most credit for doing this idea. That was, like I said, back in February. Initially, I think we were both going to try to do it for Camp April, NaNoWriMo, and that just became a mess. So here we are, where we're actually finally going to do it. So now, let me kind of give you the introduction. If you do not know, or basically don't know much about the Meyers Briggs personality, essentially it's a, I don't want to say fake, but it's like these two people who kind of just wanted to try to give more insight into different people. And thus they ended up kind of creating this system. It's a questionnaire that you can take the quiz, figure out what your personality type is, and they kind of sort them into different things. Basically, what they have is there's 16 different personalities broken up into 4 types. You have analysts, diplomats, sentinels, and explorers. And within those, you have 4 different, like breaking off. So it's kind of like this little map. So you start up the top and you break down. And it basically looks at different things as far as, are you an introvert or you are an extrovert, whether or not you use intuition, or if you go off your emotion, or if you use logic, and so on and so forth. The reason that I didn't want to say it's fake, but it is like a pseudo psychology. Basically I think it was 2 people, took some of Carl Jung's ideas and thought, well, like some of this is good, but we think we can like figure out the personalities even better, and went and created their own, which is the Meyers Briggs type indicator. So I am a therapist and I studied psychology for 8 years. I love this kind of I love these topics, and that's why I just think this is a fun type of thing to do, because everyone kind of has a different personality, and whether or not you believe in it, I just think you can always have something to learn by looking into it. So what type am I? My Meyers Briggs personality is an ENFJ, which means I am the protagonist. Some of these, so basically my core traits are I'm extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging. I like helping others. I tend to have strong values and ideas, and I usually have creative energy to pursue my goals. The whole kind of thing is that protagonists are the natural leaders. They're full of passion and charisma. They can be coaches or teachers or politicians. And they typically have good confidence and influence when talking with people, and that's why they typically are the ones that kind of take action. Some famous people in general, not in the writing community, 2 of the ones that I know off the top of my head are Barack Obama and Oprah. So as you can kind of maybe get a feel for who these people are. So basically, now that you know this, if you're interested and you've never taken a Meyers Briggs before, I'm going to leave the website that has it's called 16 Personalities, and I'm going to leave that down below. You can go figure it out and do this if you want to. But my goal is, because based on what my personality says, I will be the most productive with. Today, I'm going to create an entire outline for my entire day tomorrow, and we are going to try to have what my most productive day as an ENFJ would look like. I've used various resources. I've looked into different authors and different writing styles just to kind of compile my best day. So this includes morning routines, night routines, writing routines, you name it. It's going to be filmed for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to briefly kind of talk about some of the things that I'm going to do. I'm only going to outline starting now. I'm only going to outline what my day is, and then as the day goes on tomorrow, I'm just going to kind of explain more things for you guys. I did try to find some common ENFJ writers, and I found a small list based on one of those websites. I don't know how accurate it is, but there are some pretty exciting and popular names on here. Stephanie Meyer, Maya Angelou, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Alice Walker, Shannon Hale, Salva Tahir, Toni Morrison, Alexa Dunn, who I included because she is a fellow author tuber, and Mitch Albom. So I have some pretty solid people on this list, if I do say so myself. And a lot of times when we're talking about writing specifically, ENFJs are natural communicators, both in writing and speech. They write to express their values and forge human connections. And apparently I like projects that allow myself to indulge in creativity and establish my own goals. Organized, but sometimes impatient. And this is my favorite. It's like, this can lead them to skimp on facts that support their conclusions. And basically it's telling me that it might be helpful to slow down and explore the landscape rather than rushing towards the finish line. And it's just funny, the research that I did to this, I know that it doesn't necessarily say that I don't have to believe in this, but it's kind of so funny how accurate this is to my personality, because I've always been that way, where it's I'm gunning, we're going to take off, we're going to write, and we're going to get to the finish line. And then to go back and actually add in those details, I'm like, oh my God, but I just got to the finish line. So I do have a bit of impatience in me. It's not my best trait. So, all right, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to write out my schedule for tomorrow, and then I'm going to come back and explain some things. Okay, so I'm back, and I wrote out the majority of my day. Now, my goal is to be not as technologically invested. So I'm going to try to limit the amount of time I'm on my phone or I'm using apps, because I do know that I'm way less productive when I'm using my phone and my applications, and sometimes they can take a huge chunk out of my day. So one of the key components of being an ENFJ, well, there's two really that I want to talk about, is having a game plan, so planning your entire day, and getting up early. Two things which I'm actually pretty good at when I put my mind to it. The planning part is serious. So for tomorrow, my goal is going to be to wake up at 6 a.m. At that point, my husband's actually going to be leaving for work, so it's great that he's going to be gone, and I'm going to have the day. What I'm going to say right off, actually, as a disclaimer, is this is my perfect day for tomorrow, the perfect day as an ENFJ writer. This is not something that I'm going to be able to do all the time in this order that I'm going to be showing you guys, because I'm on vacation the week that I'm filming this. I took a staycation. My goal was just to kind of write and film videos and just have a relaxing time, because I couldn't go anywhere on vacation and I needed a break from my job. So everything you're going to see is if I had a perfect morning, this is what it's going to look like. But I don't know if I can do this every single day, and I don't know how I'm going to about it, because I do think even though I am a creature of habit, sometimes changing things up is beneficial for me. So we're going to wake up. We're going to exercise immediately. That was actually something that was recommended to do, is kind of get the blood flowing and the creative juices going. Shower, do some gratitude exercises in the shower. So thinking of positive things, at least 5 positive or things you're grateful for in the shower. We're going to get ready. Then we're going to meditate, which is not something I do on a regular, but it was actually recommended to get the creative juices flowing, was to meditate for at least 15 minutes. And then basically they're get it over with. Your best way as an ENFJ to tackle a day is to just jump into things. So I'm going to make breakfast. There's a specific breakfast that they recommend to me. And then we're going to jump right into writing. So we're going to start pretty early. My goal is to start writing by 8:30 in the morning. And we're going to see how far I can actually go with it. I'm not going to give myself necessarily any time, but one of the things that they recommended for me is to take frequent breaks and do small things for myself. So whether that's stretching or taking my dog for a walk, or even, doing some housework, anything that just kind of gets, breaks up my day. So I'm not gonna have a time that I'm gonna write for, and I'm gonna take as many breaks as feels right for me, with the caveat that I'm gonna try to use my phone very minimally. As an ENFJ, the E in ENFJ stands for extroverted. So one of the things that they recommend you do is to group write or have friends. So given that I'm in the middle of the work week and I don't have any like live stream scheduled, I actually ended up talking to my co-writer, Caitlin, who is going to be out of work around 2 o'clock. And I thought that was going to be perfect. So she's actually going to join me at my house and we are going to edit our co-written book together. So I am going to get that part of that extrovertedness out. The other part is one of the famous writers that I read into their morning routine for. I'm not going to say who it is here because I might have a video on them specifically down the road of like writing like them. But they recommended writing in the morning and editing later. I think they meant the same project, but if you're new here, hi, I work on multiple projects at once. So I'm going to be working on my contemporary novel in the morning, and in the afternoon with Caitlin, I'm going to be editing our co-written fantasy project. I think that's going to be more beneficial to me because I know if I went back and tried to edit the stuff that I wrote in the morning, I'm going to get stuck and I'm going to not continue. I need to write a story full force. So that's the one like I'm kind of tweaking for my own in this video. So as far as that goes, that's how much I have planned. Of course, there's going to be dinner in there and my breaks, but I'm really going to see how much writing I can actually do tomorrow, leading up into having a night routine, which is going to be me powering down. I might end up stretching and doing some more meditation at night and kind of just having a very casual like ending the day to hopefully have a full night's sleep. So this was a very long intro. I hope that I was able to kind of give you a brief overview, but like I said, as I go on in the day, I am going to explain a little bit more in detail about why they actually say to do these specific things for an ENFJ. So I am going to leave it here, and I'm going to see you guys bright and early at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Okay, see you then. Everyone, it is a little before 7 a.m. and my day has been iffy so far because I accidentally turned my alarm off. So instead of waking up at 6 a.m., I woke up at 6:45. I'm pretty mad because I ended up waking up at 5:37 beforehand, and then I rolled over when I went to check my time and turned off my alarm. So here we are. I didn't wake up as early as I thought it was going to be, but I'm still running into everything. So according to my ENFJ personality, I should begin my morning. It doesn't tell me when and what order, but I should begin at some point in the morning with exercise because exercise is known to increase my mood, my positivity, and apparently helps with creativity with ENFJs. So we're gonna run, and then depending on how long I run for, I might do a 15-minute run and then a 15-minute exercise, so I have 30 minutes total. So we're gonna start there, and I'll be back soon. Hi again. It is now 7:30. So we're not doing too bad on time. I did want to start writing around 8:30, and I still think, I'm probably gonna be able to start by 9, so I'm really only a half hour behind schedule. But one of the things that they said that ENFJs, because they are so personable and really like people, it recommended to do like 5 positive or 5 things you're grateful for in the shower. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm going to try to like think of those things immediately while I'm like lathered up, and we'll see how that goes. Hi guys, so I just got done with my shower and getting ready, as you could probably tell. So I did do the 5 grateful thoughts in the shower and just some like reflections on it. It definitely made me happy and kind of like gave me, like I took like, I wasn't just trying to be generic. So like, for instance, like I was grateful for my husband, but like more specifically, I was really grateful because I mentioned how like I want to like go do more live streams the other day, and I was hoping to one day get like a better camera for that, but the cameras were really expensive and he went out and bought me one. So that was really nice of him. So like I tried to like make it very specific to like what has been going on this week in my life. What I will say is my mind wandered quite a bit. It was not hard. Like I didn't just think of 5 things. Like I would think of like 2, and then like 5 minutes later I'd be like, oh, I forgot
I was supposed to think of a third, and then I would think of the third, and then like my mind would wander a little bit and then be like, oh, we got 2 more. So it was definitely hard to actually just focus on that, and I don't know why, but that's just something, I think, because my mind wanders a lot in the shower. So now it is on to our 15 minutes of meditation. I'm a little nervous because honestly, I'm not much of a meditator. I have a hard time sitting still and I have a hard time clearing my mind. But I actually was able to get Audible, was giving like gifts and everything out on their Audible account. So I have a few morning meditations and I'm going to pick one. I think I have a 15-minute one. It might be like 14 minutes. So whatever is closest to 15 without going too over, I'm going to do that because honestly, I'm starving by this point and I need breakfast soon. So we're going to meditate. According to the article on the ENFJ's meditation, which is, I think this is just for everyone, but it helps you clear your mind, lower your blood pressure, improve your mood and brain functioning, and improve your immune system. And that's the benefits for the ENFJ and probably everyone, but all right, so let's get to meditating. So now that we're done with meditation, which honestly, I should do meditation way more because every time I do it, I always feel just so calm and relaxed and ready to take on my day. And unrelated to this video, I actually forgot that tomorrow night I am supposed to be going to like an in-person meditation in a salt cave. So I'm actually kind of excited for that. But yeah, I had almost a 16-minute meditation, and it really was just kind of like bringing awareness to my senses, and I feel good. So now we're on to breakfast. So according to my ENFJ research, some of the best foods that would work for me include water, eggs, berries, and like colorful fruits and veggies like oranges and bell peppers and lemons. So I don't have all of these, but I do have eggs and I love eggs. So I'm going to make myself some eggs. I also bought berries. So I have the blueberries and the strawberries, and I have lemon for my water. So I'm going to have eggs, berries, and some lemon water to start off my day. I didn't see anything regarding coffee, so my goal is to like let's ease into my writing this morning, like after I eat my breakfast, and then on my first break, I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee. But according to the research, some of the things, eggs help with regulation of memory and mood. Water increases mental flexibility, energy, and focus, which obviously if I'm going to be writing, I would need that. Berries help with short-term memory loss and improve communication between brain cells. And then lemons and strawberries are high in vitamin C, which helps process carbs, fats, and proteins effectively. Also improves mood and lowers confusion and depression. So I think probably for what I'm looking at with ENFJ, like these are all things that are going to make me like a better communicator, put me in a better creative mood, and kind of lower the things that would stress me out and maybe make me less productive. So we're going to see if it works. Here we go. Okay, so now I have my breakfast. I might have made a little bit too much berry mixture, but if I don't finish it like now, I'm going to take it down and write with me. So there is my wonderful breakfast with my water there, and we're going to enjoy it. Hi guys, so it is now a little after 10. I actually have tried to write a little bit, and I have. So far I've done one writing sprint for like a half hour, and I got 735 words. And actually my friend Autumn is currently doing live sprints. She started at 6 a.m. so she's still going. It's been over 4 hours now, and I'm like so impressed by her. By the way, Autumn, if you watch this, good job, girl. But we are gonna do at least maybe 2 more sprints, and because as an ENFJ and I am an extrovert,
it did really encourage, you know, doing group writing and like group sprinting and stuff like that. So I'm honestly so excited that she's still doing this, because that means that I can join in and kind of get some more writing done while I have the encouragement of other people. So I'm going to I think she's going to do 2 more. So I'm going to do some writing sprints at this point, and I'll check back in a little bit. So far, I have not taken any breaks, except 2 bathroom breaks. So like, I guess that's technically a break, but I didn't do anything else. I've just been like interacting with Autumn on her live stream and writing, and then my 2 bathroom breaks. So wish me luck. I'm going to hopefully do another, I think we're doing a 15-minute, and we're going to get going. Hi guys, so it is 11:16, and for the past hour I participated in 4 writing sprints, and in that time I have actually wrote a total of 1,944 words, which is pretty incredible. Like, I just didn't, until I started doing more writing sprints, especially live on YouTube. Like, I feel like seeing people have been such a game changer, especially this year. Compared to back in 2018 when I joined a NaNoWriMo group and we had writing sprints that were all text. So we had a Discord chat, and those were really productive for me back in 2018 Nano, but they started losing their effect after I finished my NaNoWriMo novel. And since then, really the group for that I was on Discord only did the writing sprints during Nano and Camp Nano. So like, it really wasn't effective for the rest of the year. And now that I've learned about live writing sprints, it's been a game changer. And I was so happy. Autumn was only going to do like 2 to 3 hours, and she ended up doing a 5-hour writing sprint and got a little bit over 2,000 words herself. She's a newer writer. This is something that she's been wanting to do a while, and she just started really writing and had her own channel. So I'm really proud of her, because like, as she's getting into her groove and trying to figure out what she's doing, like, she's kicking butt, and I'm also just extremely productive in that time. So I wrote, like I said, almost 2,000 words in an hour. So I wanted to kind of briefly touch base. I am going to take my first break. Like I said, it's a little after 11 at this point, and I'm going to be making lunch soon. And my husband, even though yesterday I said he wasn't going to be home today, ended up taking the day off to have a longer holiday weekend. So here we are. And he's actually upstairs, so he's making his lunch, and I think we are going to take a break, and we're going to start Sabrina. What is it, the 3rd season? We're really behind on it. We haven't watched it, so we're going to catch up, because I've been dying to watch that season. But just some tidbits about the ENFJ writing style that I wanted to kind of talk about at this point. It's just interesting because I'm like very connected with what they say, and I do a lot of these things. So I tend to, basically it says I tend to accurately estimate how long a writing project will take, which I don't know, especially because I've actually been productive, and I always do say, like, I know I can like bang something out in a month. Like, I can get a first draft down in a month if I actually like put my mind to it. And that was always a big hard thing. So like, I think like I do know, like, because I actually do write a lot when I actually sit down to write, I probably could estimate if I wanted to. But the big ticker is that it says they generally dive into the first draft and develop a framework. That is me. That is what I'm doing. I'm just diving in and getting my skeleton down, because I can always go back and edit and beef things up and like stretch things out if I need to, or like chop pieces. Like, I can do that later. But if I don't start with the framework, I'm never going to get to the end of my novel. So it actually did say that it might be helpful to start with the closing paragraph to give myself an idea of like my end point. And it's funny because I didn't write this, but maybe I will write it today, because I know what my end scene, like I know what my epilogue is going to be. So maybe I will write the epilogue today if we're feeling adventurous. Since I started, like back in when I started writing in, I don't know, in high school, I guess, I was always a piece writer. Like, I would write jumping all over the place, whatever called to me. And since I started doing more writing, and I've actually completed books now, I work so much easier just like taking the story as it goes. It's just so strange like how I've changed over the years. So I'm going to put that on the table. Maybe I will write my epilogue today, depending on where we're at and if I feel like I'm getting stuck anywhere. Some of the other things are drawing inspiration from people. I tend to read extensively and collect words that I consider particularly apt. That is me. I love words. I love language. I love hearing something and being like, that's like such a nice word, and I end up using it. It does say that like I do well writing in groups and kind of like taking inspiration from them. So that's kind of why I didn't anticipate joining a writing sprint, but I'm glad I did because I really got like into the writing and went going. Some of the other things, and I apologize, I'm looking at my monitor because I'm not going to remember all of this in my head. It's been a long video already. But I focus writing on their values and ideals. The project that I'm working on is my contemporary project. It has to do with sexuality, sexual orientation, and mental health, things that I am very passionate about and I do on a daily basis, and I talk about it. So that's true. Also kind of, it says that I will use language to persuade and I want to influence people's lives for the betterment of the individual and society. Basically, my contemporary book is, again, it is a coming out story, and it's also dealing with like how coming out and mental health can sometimes be impacted. And my goal for this story is because it is there are some things that I've drawn from my own life. It is on voices. There is that part of me that wants to share the story so that other people and other kids who may have gone through something that I've gone through and didn't know what was happening at the time can like relate and understand. So again, I mean, this project, I don't know if it was like just it happened to be like so perfectly coinciding with the ENFJ writing style, but like here I am being an ENFJ. So otherwise, I naturally adopt a conversational tone in my writing, yet often use imaginative and hyperbolic language to illustrate a point. They have a talent for seizing on subtleties and choosing the exact word to convey an idea. They consider how their writing affects their audience. I can't necessarily say if I do or not. I would like to think so. But I do think a conversational tone, I think that's probably accurate. Because I don't think I don't think I'm a flowery writer like throughout. Like I'm not like creating these like gigantic hyperboles and similes and metaphors throughout in my entire book. But like I'm kind of conversational, and then when I need to hit a point, like that's when like I think I can be more poetic. Again, like I like to think so. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but I hope so, because that's kind of how I like to do things. Like I like to have those lines that are very nice compared to like the whole story, just because it takes a lot of effort to write a whole story as a metaphor or just having that beautiful writing language. And I give a lot of props to the authors who can do it. So with that being said, I just kind of want to share some of those finer points, especially how they relate to the project that I'm currently working on. With that being said, it is now lunchtime and break time. I'm going to go watch some Sabrina with my husband, and I will check back in with the next step of my day. Hi guys, so it's now, I don't know, almost 3 o'clock, right? Of course, my watch is not actually on my watch, it's on my steps, so that didn't help me at all, but I'm going to say it's almost 3 o'clock, and I'm joined now by my lovely co-author, Caitlin. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
So, we are going to start our edits on our book, and I have not written. I actually pretty much took up a pretty solid, like, 3-hour break, but I was pretty productive. I did the dishes, I edited all my footage that I had, because I had like well over an hour's worth of footage, which is ridiculous, but I cut that bad boy down. And we're just gonna sit here and try to edit a couple chapters until dinner time. We're outside right now. We're probably not gonna last because it's ungodly hot out here, which makes me sad, because this morning there was no sun in my backyard and really no sun at all, and now it's Dante's Inferno. So anyway, we're going to get to editing, and I'll check back in at some point whenever we get to. What chapter are we on, my dear? I think we were on chapter 3.
Yeah, it's chapter 3, yeah.
So, actually, yeah, so we're starting on chapter 3. So let's see how many chapters we can get edited. Okay. Hi, guys. It is now 8:08 at night, and we're starting to power down this day. I kind of have been doing some little things. I just haven't been filming as much because I kind of I just needed to chill for a little bit. But Caitlin left and we ended up editing, I think, 3 chapters, and I will say editing loosely because at this point we're doing like a final read through. Like our goal is that we're just kind of looking for some loose ends and tying things up to make sure that it's the best manuscript, because our next step is querying. So we're really not editing, we're just kind of reading it through and then catching things if they stick out. Best I would say is we're line editing, because it's really like such minuscule editing that we're doing. But we ended up doing 3 full chapters, and that was, it was pretty productive, and also I'm just like so proud of that story. I really love the characters, and I hope that one day everyone who will be able to read it will also fall in love with them. So we did that. We ended up stopping around 5 o'clock, and then I ended up grabbing food for me and Greg. We ate, we watched another episode of Sabrina, and then I kind of just moseyed around. I got a little bit lazy, and I wasn't feeling too good for a hot second there, but I think I'm okay now. And I just kind of finished my last 15-minute word sprint. I just wanted to do one more for the end of the day because I was feeling in the mood to try to get my the 2,500 words like I did yesterday. And I actually surpassed it. I ended up adding 2,638 words, and my total word count is now 38,850. So if I keep going at this rate, I'm definitely going to get this novel done by the end of July. Maybe before the end of July. I'm here and I'm ready for it. I can't believe there's a good chance tomorrow I will hit the 40,000 mark. And all I needed was 30,000 words this month. So I'm already a quarter into it. I don't know. It's mind blowing. I know technically I started a couple days. Anyway, I'm ranting. So that was a productive day. The remainder of my day is just kind of at this point, for ENFJs, they recommend an ENFJ really powers down. I am someone that gets distracted, and one of the things it says that my mind is buzzing at all hours. So screens and TVs before bed will only continue to make my mind buzz and gives me restless sleep. It's funny that it mentions this because I know for a fact if I watch TV or video game or look on my phones after 9 p.m., I'm toast. I actually do have terrible sleep patterns then. Another part of it for an ENFJ, it says at the end of the night as you're winding down to turn on some calming music, let go of your day's worries by stretching and kind of thinking about all the positive things, either things that, brought me joy or happiness, and if there is anything that was bumming me out or stressing me out, to let that go at the end of the day, all through stretching. So basically what I'm going to end up doing is around 9 o'clock, I have about 45 minutes until 9 o'clock. I'm going to start powering down. I'm going to turn my phone. It actually goes on sleep mode at 9 o'clock anyway. So I think I'm going to try to kind of wind down. I'm going to stretch a little bit, and then I think I'm going to get in bed and read. That's not recommended necessarily for an ENFJ, but I think that's what I would want to do. It also recommends me to go to bed at 12:15 a.m. Actually, I knew this was going to happen. I'm when I was researching this, I'm it's going to tell me to wake up super early and go to bed super late, which I cannot do. I need my sleep. So basically it wanted me to wake up at 6 a.m. and yet also make it up till 12:15. Can't do that. So I'm probably going to get into bed by 10 o'clock at the latest. And we'll see what I film. I might try to film a brief, kind of power down outro, but as of now, I think this was actually an extremely productive day. So for now, here are my final thoughts on this whole experiment. As an ENFJ, I know I'm a very energetic and outgoing person, but I like a lot of personal time to kind of get through my tasks. I think the research that I did is very effective for who I am as a person and what I already do, whether that's by coincidence or actual research that is out in the world on these personality traits. I'm very much like my ENFJ personality according to Meyers Briggs and all the kind of things I found on ENFJs. I definitely liked the group work, whether that's doing live streams or calling people to get some feedback off them, or having a friend actually come over and work with me. It doesn't necessarily have to be together. This happened that my co-writer and I are co-writers, so we just happened to have a project that we're working on together. But I think even if we didn't, I think her coming over and working on her own project would have still been beneficial for me to have that interaction. I also think because I do it all the time, planning out my day is extremely successful for me. if I looked at this and, you know, one of the things that I actually recommended is think about like what I want as my goals in 10 years. And obviously it's perfect because in 10 years, I want to be published already. Like I want more than one book out and I want to continue writing. And I don't need to have a book a year and I don't need to be a full-time author, but that's my goal in 10 years is to be published and be out there. So looking at that, if for some miracle, and I'm not saying that this is my goal because my goal is not to be a full-time writer ever. If it somehow happens, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain about it. But if I was able to have this kind of same schedule day, I think it would really suit me very well. Being able to work up and kind of have that personal time before I jump into my job is super beneficial for me. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is a perfect day because I have a full-time job and my schedule changes very dramatically. Sometimes I'm out of the door by 8 a.m. Some days I'm not home till 8 p.m. because of all my clients, where they're at and located, I drive to them. And sometimes I have to cater to how their work schedules are. So if a parent doesn't get home till 6 p.m., sometimes it sucks and I have to grit my teeth, but I have to go out to see them at 6 p.m. So yeah, it's kind of rough and I don't think I'm going to be able to follow this fully every single day. But some of the takeaways that I think that I'm going to do, waking up early always is beneficial for me. I am a morning person. And a lot of times, especially when my husband goes back to work full time, he will be out the door and I have the house to myself in the morning until I start work. So it is kind of natural to be able to have that like kind of reflection time, and whether that's exercising or meditating or doing both, I think that would be beneficial for me to continue. I think it's good for my mental health. I think doing a writing sprint in the morning would continue to push me, and that might help me get to that, you know, writing almost every day. I'm not ever going to say that like writing every day is going to be something I'm ever going to achieve, but I think I can easily get there if I was going to write in the morning, because at least if I get it out of the way, I've written something for that day. And if I am super busy and I don't get home till late and I'm crashing, at least I did it in the morning when I had time and I was guaranteed that time. Otherwise, I'm definitely going to keep working with people. And like I said, I'm going to keep doing YouTube live sprints, both on my channel and other friends' channels, because they are seriously like a hidden gem. I've been so productive, not only today, but the last couple days, like this week in general. I've gotten so many words down. Like I literally wrote almost 9,000 words since Sunday, and I haven't written every single day. I think I've only wrote, 3 out of 5 days I've written, and I got 9,000 words total, which is mind-blowing. So friend writing, totally for me. It's definitely an ENFJ trait, I'm pretty sure. Or anyone who is an extrovert in general, probably the best way. So yeah, those are some of my takeaways. I really, really like this experiment. I'm really glad I was able to do it. I'm glad I only did one day because I have a ton of footage, like I said. So I'm going to try to take away some things and actually start including them a little bit more in my videos moving forward. Otherwise, guys, like I said, I'm probably going to end the video here. I might have a small footage of me powering down, but otherwise, this is the end of my rant and ravings. I am going to turn my phone off at 9 o'clock, as it says, just to finish out the day. And yeah, I think this was super, super successful, and I'm just very excited at where I am as of now writing. So thank you guys so much for coming on this journey with me. Let me know down below if you've taken the quiz, or, you know, if you are going to take the quiz after, come back and let me know what is your personality trait and what are some things that you think you would be interested in doing to try to suit your personality trait. Also, big thank you for Hudson for giving me this idea. Again, you are a saint, and I cannot wait to see your video. So go follow Hudson as well. She's going to have a video coming out or out by the time you see my video. And yeah, that's it, I think. I hope I hope if you guys are participating in Camp NaNoWriMo or you're just writing a project in general, best of luck to you guys. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye.